What is up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and we are here today with my top 10 figures of 2015. After this, I will do my bottom, they're my most disappointing figures of 2015. Now, these are just figures I bought in 2015, and they're figures that I thought were pretty awesome. So, let's do the damn thing. Number 10. Aliens and Alien Ellen Ripley. A figure we've been waiting for a long time. NECA did what they always do, and they did her justice. She's a must-get if you're a fan of Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, Aliens, whatever. Number 9. Transformers Combiner Wars Megatron. It's a Megatron the proper size that I've always wanted. He's bigger than a lot of my other figures, but I've always wanted one just that's big and substantial, and this is that guy. And he turns into a tank instead of a gun. Who knew? Number 8. Masters of the Universe Classics, Snake Armor He-Man and King Hiss from 2002's He-Man series. I didn't get them the first time around, so these were perfect for me. So much detail, still got the articulation, cool accessories. Win-win. Number 7. It's DC Collectibles Arrow Deathstroke figure. This so far is the best Deathstroke figure that DC Collectibles has done so far. And I say so far because you never know. They'll probably top themselves at some point. But this thing is a thing of beauty. Number 6. Marauders Gunrunners Task Force figures. Now, I have a lot to say about these guys because this is a figure that it's taking a spot. It's filling a void for those of us who collect G.I. Joe figures. And with the shit that Hasbro is putting out these days for G.I. Joe, it's awesome that someone else could come in and do such a thorough job, filling that void. They're giving us everything. We can't really complain. I mean, not vehicles, but everything figure-wise. So these guys are just amazing. Number 5. Figma Hattori Hanzo from Sengoku Taisen. A reuse of parts from the Ninja Slayer figure, and they turned this into another badass release from Figma with awesome articulation, even better accessories, and just an overall a badass figure. Number 4, it's NECA's Ultimate T800. What else is there to say? This thing hits on every single accord. He's got the perfect sculpt, awesome articulation that works with the sculpt, and an accessories out the wazoo. You can't complain. Figma Solid Snake from Sons of Liberty. Pretty much an update to one of my favorite figures. It was the McFarlane Sons of Liberty Solid Snake. This figure, despite what people say about his face, you're looking at it right now, he's an awesome figure. He just delivers on every accord, and that's what Figma is really good at. So yeah, he's my number 3. Number 2 is a figure that I waited a very long time to find for a decent price, and it's the wow, I almost said Figma, SH Figuarts Wing Knight and Black Wing. Awesome sculpt, articulation, screen accurate costume, as well as accessories. It's hard to find a better release of this figure. I mean, it kicks the shit out of the Figma one. And the Figma one is not a bad figure either. It's a good release. It just doesn't come with all the stuff this guy comes with. And it's limited in areas that SH Figuarts is just always, 100 cuts above the rest. And now for the honorable mentions. We have the core female figures. Both, I think it's Puma and Snakebite. They're nice looking figures, and it's nice that they included females finally in the core line. I know a lot of people, this went like whoop right under your radar. The Arkham Knight 3-pack with Harley, Shiva, and Electrocutioner. Awesome sculpts, awesome paint, okay articulation. Both SH Figuarts, Injustice, Batman, and Superman. Awesome sculpts, awesome articulation, but those capes and some of the accessories and the paint on the Superman face, no. And for the number 1 figure, it is none other than the Figma Saber 2.0. She came out the beginning of 2015. I ordered her or pre-ordered her actually 2014. She came kind of mid-January. She's just an awesome figure. Awesome in every respect. Paint, sculpt, articulation, accessory count, everything. No slop, nothing. Her screen accuracy, it's almost perfect. Like I said in the review, the only thing that's different is that front flap that she has hanging down in front of her legs. It's not purple or violet like it is in some of the art in the mangas and in the show. It's just blue. But this figure is pretty unmatched, you know, when it comes to its articulation, when it comes to its, you know, the accessories. Just the accessories are so nice, and she's not even heavy on accessories. She just has the right ones to recreate the best stuff from the series. And as much as I love the series, I love this figure even more. And even with all the cool shit I picked up this year, this figure still maintains its place as, you know, one of the best that I've bought all of last year. Let's see if she maintains that for years to come. I mean, I can't stop playing with this figure, so, you know, that's always a good sign. So anyway, Figma Saber 2.0 is my number one of 2015. Okay, so here are the most disappointing figures of 2015. Now keep in mind, they're just disappointing figures, not the crappiest figures. Since making the change to only reviewing awesome figures, in my opinion, and figures that make me happy, it's been kind of difficult choosing ones that are just bad. So disappointing is as low as it goes on my channel these days. So here we go. Marvel Select Cable. Lack of bicep swivels, you know, restricted movement in the torso, things like that are just, you know, that's what puts him at number 5. DC Icons, Mr. Miracle, and pretty much the Icons line in general. A lot of articulation, but not a lot of well-engineered articulation. Awesome sculpts, awesome paint jobs, weird scale. All these things are what turn this line that should have been, you know, a second coming of sorts, you know, spiritual successor to DCUC sort of thing, to just like a meh release that's just not for everybody, even if you're a DC fan. Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man, as he's come to be called. This guy is disappointing because it's a Spider-Man figure and they've done it right so many times, and there were little things that they just failed on, like this is as far apart as his legs can go. You can't cop, you know, a proper squat and look like Spidey. You know, Spidey's all about knees and elbows. You gotta have him propped up in those poses. And, you know, this guy can't even do that. But, I mean, the fans are so happy because he came with a fucking slice of pizza and this extra head. Ugh. Next up, the Mafex Dark Knight 1.0. Now, this figure I was super excited about because I thought he would be the definitive representation of Christian Bale as the Dark Knight. But this guy's arms popped out of the sockets. It just, you know, it was bad build quality. Some people had the legs popping out, torso. It just, no. Maybe they rectified it with the 2.0. Next up, we got the honorable mention section. We've got Arkham Knight Red Hood. He had restricted arm articulation and couldn't point his guns straight in front of him. And then we had Dante from the NECA Player Select line. He's perfect almost, except for wrist pegs and that coat. It just kind of sucked. Now for the number one spot, it's a tie between Locke, which is just a travesty of a figure. He has like no range of motion anywhere. He can't two-hand his rifle. He can't move his legs apart. He can barely run. Piece of shit, beautiful sculpt. And then we have the DC Collectibles Batmobile, which for a lot of people is like some holy grail. But when you think about the price tag of $100 and all it does is light up, and you can see behind the you know, this front vent, you can see behind there and see the mechanisms that light up everything, and you know, the scoop in the roof, when you try to open it, it kind of, you know, it stutters. It's not a smooth moving thing, and you just think about how awesome it is to see them in this scale in the vehicle, but it doesn't really do anything. It's just disappointing as fuck, you know? So, you know, it's an impressive piece based on the size and proportions, but as far as features, it's one of the lightest on features of anything that I have ever bought in my entire collection. And that is super fucking disappointing. Well, that is the end of my top, bottom. Thanks for watching. You know, this is my story and I'm sticking to it. You know how it is with me. I try to be pretty fair about the points that I choose to use as points of contention. And I think, you know, all things considered, disappointing and not being pure crap with the exception of Locke. That's a piece of shit toy. He probably could have been the #1 by himself, but, you know, I was kind of lenient there. But, you know, these are all just disappointing to me because my standards are a lot higher these days. But as always, I thank you for your time. I'm glad you guys stuck around and listened to all this stuff, and, you know, I hope you guys feel where I'm coming from. Share your top, you know, most awesome and your top most disappointing or lower most disappointing in the comments, and we'll just keep talking like we normally do. So anyway, that's it for me. You guys have been great, and I guess on to the next one, right? I'll catch you in another video. Peace outside.